Hello, my kin. My name is Kingpin, but you can call me Kin. And first off, Merry Christmas, guys. I wasn't actually thinking of putting out a video on Christmas, but I thought, why not? This will be my last video of the year, by the way. So I hope you guys enjoy this final little episode of Rakarth's journey against the lizard men and Hunt Marshall and everything like that. Of course, if you have not watched the previous videos, I suggest you go watch the last maybe one or two, just so you know whereabouts we're up to, what we're doing, all that jazz. But I know a lot of you guys watch all of them, which is really, really awesome. So I'll just start this off by saying thank you for the support. I'll probably make a community post on like New Year's or something, thanking you all. Just overall, thank you guys for all the views and everything. It's been really nice. My channel hasn't really popped off. It's just gotten a little bit bigger, but it's been awesome. It's been really, really cool. So thank you so much for that, guys. Let's get into the campaign then. So over in our province, Helen had just fought off two Hunts Marshall armies, and now he had an upgrade. His army was looking amazing, and basically he just had to defeat that last army, which would be no problem for him because he'd just ambush it and would be fine. Also decided to move Rakarth back. I saw Gorok had an army coming over, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to actually destroy Gorok's army. I mean, it's literally Gorok, you know, so even Gorok in melee would be a problem. But my armies were getting really good, and it was all about chevrons at this point. I just needed chevrons on all my monsters because I couldn't get better monsters than what I had, apart from maybe a couple units like Medusa and stuff. But overall, I just had to rely on the chevrons. Chevrons is what would make my armies powerful. Anyway, with Harlan, I attacked that final army and destroyed them, which was really nice. Also got a nice piece of armor, but the armor thing always glitched out when I hovered over it, but it was good armor anyway, so I thought Helen deserved that. So I didn't move Helen back. I wanted to go after the Hunts Marshall stuff now, because if I could destroy a couple of the Hunts Marshall's buildings, that would give me a lot of money. But I had these guys to worry about, and I didn't want to go to war with these guys at the moment, because these guys were actually stronger than the Hunts Marshall. They were more of a threat than the Hunts Marshall, because they were closer than me in general than the Hunts Marshall was. Also, Luther Harkon, he did not have much at all, but I decided having another ally wouldn't be a problem at all, and I needed it, because me and the Skaven, we weren't losing per se, but we definitely didn't have as much ground as the Lizard Men and Bretonnian and Empire. It was just really good to have another ally. It meant that there was one less threat, because, you know, bro, Luther Harkon and Rakarth fighting each other, that sounds perfectly lore-wise, you know, that sounds like it could easily happen, but thankfully it wasn't going to happen. Military allies, I couldn't get any of his units from an outpost or anything, and I did think about building an outpost to maybe give him more units in his army, in his garrison, sorry, but it wasn't worth the money, because I was low on money anyway. That's why I really needed Helen to go and sack some settlements. And so in the start of turn 65, two massive Lizardmen armies started coming my way. We had Gorok up there, and we had Tehenna down here, obviously going for the Skaven. But I was pretty sure that was the Skaven's last settlement, and Gorok was coming to either take me out or take his settlement back, so I was really unsure how things were going, how things were to be going. It would be very brutal if Rakarth got taken out, but I couldn't see him getting taken out. His army was really strong, and if he was in the garrison, even Gorok couldn't take him. I was pretty confident on that. But then there was also the problem of what to do with Helen. Like I said in my previous videos, if I trespassed against these guys, they would declare war on me. But that was the only way I could get to the Hunts Marshall's lands, and I really wanted to, because they were weak at the moment. I could take them and destroy them, but the Bretonnians were standing in my way, and that was really annoying. I cannot express how goddamn annoying that was, because obviously the garrison, I could easily take those. The garrisons were nothing. That'd be easy for Helen, so I decided to just do it. I was pretty confident that the Bretonnians were going to declare war on me now. It was just really nice to see that they didn't have any armies near where Helen was. I mean, I wasn't sure where their actual armies were, but I had some buffer, you know, I had some land buffer to get myself ready if I saw them coming down to attack. Because at the moment, Gorok and Tehenna were my actual enemies. And this is when I knew I needed a Black Ark. So I performed the rite and got myself a Black Ark. This is probably the first time in any Dark Elf campaign I've ever got a Black Ark. So, yeah, I've never used them before. But I think it will be really useful just down that coast where Rakarth is, just taking out some, helping to take out some of the lizard men. And also, yes, you can use Black Arcs as part of the challenge. You just have to have beasts on it. You can't have any normal infantry or any other units. You just have to have beasts on your Black Ark, but you can have a Black Ark. So here I also decided I was getting desperate. I will not deny that I was getting really desperate, and I decided to get some treaties with the other Skaven faction. Once again, this just meant that I could one less possible enemy, and I got my sight on like all of Lustria. I can now see all of Lustria, know how everyone's going, and it's just easier for me to plan my next move if I know where everyone is and what everyone's doing. I mean, the Skaven were not strong, like, at all, but I was going to be able to be friends with them, focus on all these guys. With Rakarth, I decided to do something really strange. I decided to move him there, and I think when I was doing this, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go raid some of his territory, and, you know, it'll be fine. I don't think I actually realized how bad of a move that was, but I would soon figure out that it was a really bad move. But at the moment, I was just like, yeah, I'll just move him out, and he'll go and do some raiding, and possibly distract Gorok. I thought that was fine, but obviously, as you guys will see, it was a little bit of a bad idea. I also recruited Admiral Renmond to my capital, and that was awesome. I was confident that I would be able to take out these lizard men, and I'd be able to protect my lands if the lizard men started taking out my lands, like the Dusk Gate and everything. And then halfway through the end turn, on Alberic's turn, he declared war on me. What did I say? I knew it. As soon as I trespassed on this guy, he would declare war on me. So now I was against Alberic, which, you know, obviously, it was inevitable. I mean, basically, I was already at war with him. He just wasn't sending armies my way. And obviously, these guys declared war on me too. And my allies got destroyed. So, yeah, that was not a good end turn. Losing Clan Pestilence and having 2 more people declare war on me was not good at all. Tehina had a good army. And look at this positioning. Gorok had cut me off from a Mine of the Bearded Skulls, but if I wanted to get back, I had to fight my way through Gorok. That was annoying. And I actually started looking for sea lanes. This is me looking for sea lanes to try and get a way out of Lustria, because I basically... I was like, oh my god, I can't win this. I can't fight Gorok and Tehina and Alberic. I can't do this. I gotta find a sea lane and get the hell out of here. But I was like, no. Kin, you have to persevere. You've got to take out Gorok. You've got to take out Tehina. You've got to take Lustria for your own, and then kill your Skaven buddies because they don't deserve to live. I did not think my army would be able to take out Gorok. Gorok had a full 20 stack, and my Black Ark was not going to be able to make it. So I decided to focus on Helen for now. Helen had it pretty easy. They'd started recruiting an army, but I could just auto that and absolutely destroy the garrison. I didn't really want the settlements though, because that was expanding a bit too much for like only having 2 armies and having this many enemies as well. So sacking it gave me a lot of money. That was probably the smartest thing to do in my opinion. And then I also decided, just to be kind of annoying, I'd head my way down to the Bretonnian settlement and maybe do some damage there as well, because the Hunt Marshal was just not a threat anymore. I had absolutely pacified the Hunt Marshal. And then I did a really smart move, and I looked at the missions from my allies, and they were Gorok missions. So I accepted both of those Gorok missions, and so I attacked. I had no idea what this battle would be like, but it gave me a valiant defeat, which wasn't bad. Usually you can win valiant defeats with like close victories or something if you actually play them, because Gorok's army it had basic units, but they all had pretty good chevrons. And obviously that's what I rely on, so it'd be a hard fight to fight, but I was going to do it anyway. So I hope you guys enjoy the cinematic battle.
It pleases Cain!
Okay, and there we go. We didn't kill Gorok, but we annihilated his army. Nearly lost a couple of units, but didn't actually lose a single unit, which was awesome. So we absolutely munted Gorok. I was really proud of that. This basically meant I could start going like into Itza or something like that, because Gorok just wasn't a threat anymore. He just wasn't. And I obviously completed both my missions, got Gorok's defeat trait, and I got some Harpies, which was pretty cool as well. So I was more than confident that I could take out Gorok. The only problem was my army, though. My army was really weak. It wasn't as weak as Gorok's, of course, but it was really weak. So the smart thing to do, the only thing I really could do if I wanted to push on later, was to go back to my settlement and just heal up a little bit. And it was awesome. I got Boudica back, who was my sorceress, who was in Rakarth's army. I must admit, I forgot about her because she got assassinated. But she came back, and that was awesome. Having a sorceress in Rakarth's army would make it that much better because her magic was pretty good, and she was leveled up quite a lot as well. So obviously, I chucked her right back into Rakarth's army. Started moving my Black Ark down as well, because I could probably send Rakarth up into Itza and start taking out Gorok stuff, but then I'd have to deal with Tehenna coming down and destroying mine. So that's what the Black Ark would protect against, basically, because I did have good garrisons around there. And then I decided to attack the first Bretonnian settlement with Helen. He just stormed his way into, I can't pronounce that settlement. But it was a Pyrrhic victory, which was good enough. I just autoed that and once again sacked it for the money and, well, the healing as well, because Helen's army did get a bit munted from that, so I'd have to go back and heal up. But this is where Helen just got, like, insanely powerful. When you get to level 10, you get to choose one of these names of powers, and it is just insane. So I did Revered Name of Power and Beastbinder. Just have a look at the stats of Beastbinder. This was absolutely perfect for someone like Helen. And the upkeep, honestly, the upkeep was really nice as well. So Helen got an absolute buff, considering his whole army is beasts. And that was awesome. That was really, really, really awesome. I was over the moon with that buff that Helen got. It was great. Basically, Helen was, I think I've seen it in one of my other videos, Helen's doing more heavy lifting than Rakarth is at the moment. Rakarth has just been kind of stuck over here because he's protecting all these settlements himself. The next couple of turns, when Rakarth is going to have to prove himself, because as you can see, Tehenna started coming down, and we had obviously Gorok to deal with. Gorok was wounded at the moment, but you know, he'd come back eventually. It was a good thing I had my Black Ark coming down, because Rakarth was going to have to fight a lot of battles. He was going to have to take a lot of land. He was going to have to do a lot. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you next year. Goodbye, my kin.